Hello, so we're back, and today we're looking at word problems on linear equation. But before we start, I'm going to give you some key terms which are being used when they give you a word problem on a linear equation. So these are some of the terms which are being used when they give you a word problem. These are like the main words that are in a word problem which you're supposed to take out to be able to find the equation out and solve for whatever they ask you to solve. So let's look at the first one. So added to. Added to means plus. When they give you an equation and they say added to, it means plus. More than means plus. Less than minus. Result multiplied by, which means that they're going to give you an equation, they say that the result is multiplied by. It means you have to bring a bracket to the result and multiply it by whatever number they tell you to multiply it by. Subtracted from, it means you have to take away from that number. Final result means equals to. When they say final result, it means you have to bring the equal to sign. Then of a number means multiply by that number. Then twice a number means 2 times the number, which is, we're using x to represent that number we're talking about. So without wasting much time, let's just dive into examples of word problems in linear equation so that maybe you didn't understand these key terms better, but when we give you the examples, you're going to understand. So this is an example. It says if 5 is added to a number and the result is 12, find the number. If 5 is added to a number and the result is 12, find the number. So we always say let the number be x. So again, I'm repeating the question. If 5 is added to a number and the result is 12, find the number. And then whenever they give it to you, you have to represent that number which they speak of, which we do not know, with a variable. And here we are choosing the variable to be x. So you always have to write at the first step, let the number be x. So the NO which I wrote represents number. So let the number be x. So you remember we said that added to means plus, and then here it says 5 added to a number, and we represented the number with x. So here we're going to get 5 plus x, which is 5 added to a number, is equal to 12, because 5 added to a number and the result is 12. 5 is added to a number and the result is 12. This is how the equation is going to be. 5 is added to a number and the result is 12. I told you at the first time when they say the final result, or they can also say the result, it means you have to bring your equals to sign and then the number you're talking about. So 5 added to a number, we made the number x. Added to means plus. The result is 12. This is how it's going to be represented in a linear equation. So after getting 5 plus x equals to 12 from the equation, now you can go straight forward to solve for x. So as we did previously, x is equal to 12 minus 5, x is equal to 7. So therefore, the number which is x is 7. So x is 7. That's how you're going to find it for the number. It's that simple. You just have to be able to break down the word problem in the equation and then you'll be able to solve it. So we have the second question. 3 more than 5 times a number is 2 less than 7 times the same number. Find the number. So you always start off with let the number be x. So you can see 3 more than 5 times a number. We already know that 3 more than means plus 3, because more than means plus. And 5 times a number means 5 times that number, and we already said that let the number be x. So 5 times a number means 5x. So here we can say 5x plus 3. 5 times a number, 3 more than. Well, you can choose to bring the 3 more than first, but to be easier for you, I think it will be easier if you make the one with the number which is x come first, so that in solving it you find it much easier. Is 2 less than 7 times the same number? So here again we can say is stand for equals to, because there's no result in there and we have is, so we just represent is by equals to. So there you have it. 2 less than 7 times the same number. Here again we have 7 times the same number, so we should just make that number come first. So 7 times the same number, which is 7 times x, which is 7x. 2 less than, we already said less than means minus, so minus 2. Then we can solve for x in this equation. So since we've been able to get the equation, now you just move straight forward to solving for x. So 5x minus 7x is equal to negative 2, negative 3. I know you understand this point because my first video taught us how to solve for x in an equation, so I don't need to go over this again. If you've missed that part, you can go back to my first video and watch how to solve for x before you come to this one to be able to understand it better. So we get negative 2x is equal to negative 5. Divide both sides by negative 2, divide both sides by negative 2, and x is going to give you 2 whole number 1 over 2. Because 5 over 2 is a mixed fraction, to send it to its lowest term, we have to make it is an improper fraction. So to send it to its lowest term, you have to make it a mixed fraction. So that's why x is equal to 2 whole number 1 over 2. So you can go on by saying, therefore the number is 2 whole number 1 over 2, or 2.5. It's all the same thing. So this is another example. When a certain number is subtracted from 10 and the result is multiplied by 3, the final result is 24. Find the number. And we say let the number be y, because you remember I said very well that the number can be any variable at all. It doesn't necessarily have to be x. It can be a, b, c, d, e, or anything. So that's why I decided to make this variable y. So the number we are going to be using to represent it is y. We're going to use y to represent it. So it says a certain number is subtracted from 10. So you have to take that number from 10. You shouldn't bring the number first. You shouldn't bring y first. You have to take it from 10. And we know from means subtraction. Well, it even says subtracted from 10. So we're going to get 10 minus y. And the result is multiplied by 3. You remember I said here that when they say the result is multiplied by, you indicate a bracket. So in here we're going to have a bracket. The result is multiplied by 3. So this result is multiplied by 3 and the final result is 24. You remember I said final result means equal to, so 24, and this becomes very simple to find for x. So this is what we're going to get. We're going to have 3 times 10, 30, 3 times negative y, negative 3y is equal to 24. Negative 3y is equal to 24 minus 30, negative 3y is equal to negative 6. You divide both sides by negative 3, divide both sides by negative 3, cancel out, you get y is equal to 2. So the number we're looking for is 2. So we have another question. If 1 out of 3 of a number is added to 1 out of 5 of the same number, the result is 8. Find the number. So represent that number with x. And I remember we said that 1 over 3 of the number means times the number, which we have the number here to be 1 over 3. So we're going to get 1 out of 3 x, 1 over 3 of a number. We are letting the number be x, is added to. Added to means plus 1 out of 5 of the same number, which is x. The result is 8. Find the number. So we've gotten this. We're going to solve for x. It's that simple. So we're going to solve, and you're going to get 15 to be the LCM, which is going to multiply each of the separate integers to give you x is equal to 15 when you simplify. Please, that's it for today. Don't forget to copy this down. It might help you a lot. The key terms which are being used, don't forget to copy them down. So in my next video, we're going to be looking at consecutive numbers. So yeah, that's it for now. Hope you understood it.